Let's look at the notes in this bar. We've got G, A, B and C. The G is a crotchet, the A is a quaver, the B is a crotchet and the C is a quaver. This gives you the classic rumpty-tumpty kind of timing feel, like this, like that, see? Now the way you count that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the G comes in on beat 1, lasts for beats 1 and 2. The A there comes in on beat 3 and lasts just for that beat. So that's your first half of your bar. Remember I said it's compound duple. And then when we play this note of B here, we come in on beat 4. That lasts for beats 4 and 5. And this final quaver, this C, is on beat 6. This note here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's pretty impossible to count that, but if you're a musician, I'm sure you'll feel that. Rumpty tumpty, that's the feel of it, okay? And you can see the pushes and pulls underneath. When you do the pushing and the pulling, by the way, tiny movements of the bellows is what you need. The other thing to say is to try and keep the melodeon square. Don't let it drop down. You should try and go in and out square rather than doing this kind of business, yeah? So that's our first bar right hand wise, okay? I'll just play it again for you. Remember you're coming in from this button here, but watch out for that first finger dropping there. So what do we do with the left hand in this bar? Right, we've got a G bass, followed by a D chord, followed by a G bass, followed by a D chord. So it's buttons 4 and 3, push, pull, like that. Notice I use little finger on button 4, third finger on button 3. A lot of people use fingers 3 and 2 or even 2 and 1, but that's the way I do it. I have one finger per bass button on both the rows. And I recommend that to you. If you can do it, it's great. If you can't, then I totally understand. So your bass line there is exactly the same time as the right hand notes. If you look, you can see that the basses are written exactly over the right hand notes. And notice the G bass is a capital letter, the D chord is a lowercase letter. Let's put that together. It sounds like this. And with the pickup bar, and that's our first bar complete. Notice it says up here G row notes have normal shaped heads. Now I've got a thing that I do on my music. The main row of a tune, and in this case it's the G row to start with, the main row, I give the notes a normal head, so these just look like normal notes because they're all on the G row. But if we get to a note that's on the D row, let's find one of those. So there's 3 down here. These 3 notes have got diamond shaped heads because they are going to be found on the D row. Now, having said that, later on in the piece, when we change to the key of D major, here we are in the B section, 2 sharps, your main row is then the D row. So that's the row that has the normal shaped heads, and it's the G row that has the diamond shaped heads. So watch out for that. I know that probably sounds a bit confusing, but actually it works really well. This is something I came up with a few years ago, and I found it very useful as a teacher, and my students have definitely found it helpful to them as well. So just bear that in mind. So far everything has been on the G row, the row that's nearest to the bellows. Let's just play that again, get into it. Now, in the second bar, the second main bar, remember this is bar 1, this is bar 2, we're still in that same position, and we have 3 notes on the push, D, B, D, 3 quavers, so 1, 2, 3, finger 3, finger 2, finger 3, D, B, D, and then we pull out on that same button to get the note E, keep pulling, go to the button below the little finger to get F sharp, and push in to get the final note, the bar G. And notice this G has got a dagger underneath it. Again, something peculiar to my music. If I want you to do that, where you press the button to get the first note, keep pressing, and just reverse the bellows direction to get the next note. In other words, you don't repress the button, although, as I always say, you can if you prefer that. So that bar right hand wise sounds like that. And there you've got a continuous stream of quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this demonstrates really well this 2 groups of 3. You've got 3 here, okay, and you've got 3 here. So these 3 notes are your first main beat, and these 3 notes are your second main beat.